Damn, that was some singing for yo. Damn.
I love that.
Sounds of blackness. All right. And Professor Griffith's preparing this lecture called Black. And we're going to dive into the whole idea of black as we dive into the whole idea of black parenting. So Sister Zaza Ali, I'm kind of stuck. I know what I want to say, but I'm having a hard time getting it out. But anyway, I have a few questions I need to ask. If you want to kind of follow up with some of these questions, I'm kind of hesitant about asking the question now. You want to start it off and let me follow you?
Well, I would like to start it off just giving my own personal reasoning for why this topic is so important for me. I am one of those children who could have easily fallen through the cracks. I didn't grow up with either my mother or my father. I never lived with my mother, and my father was only in my life part of the time. He made sure that there were other people there to take care of me, but I didn't grow up in that, what do you call it? Just the normal household, traditional household, man, woman, or even single mom or even single dad. So I had a very unorthodox upbringing. And, thankfully, I've been blessed to have the divine guidance protecting me and nurturing me along the way. But when I had my son, Nassim, who is now 10 years old, at the age of 26, I realized how much I had missed out on in my life, and it kind of really, struck me. I went into a short-term depression because I was like, how did I come to be and make it? And, how is it possible that the universe would even allow for a young, innocent child, which is what I was, to just be raised and reared by the world? Fast forward now that I've grown and developed and matured in my assessment, I always tell people I was a blank canvas, and I was able to paint, what I wanted on my canvas. And a friend of mine used to call me the self-guided one. But that is not the outcome for most of our young children who are out here in the streets who are raising themselves. We know that too many grandmothers are taking care of grandchildren. Aunties usually pick up where the fathers leave off if they choose the wrong woman to have children with, or if they end up incarcerated or even dead. It does take a village to raise our children, and it's good that the other aspects of our families are stepping in to take care of our children. But no one can really take care of a child the way a mother or a father can. And if you're going to step in and try to raise another person's child, then you can't do it half throttle. You have to go full throttle with it, because I was in the care of a few people who felt like because I had a meal on the table and clothes on my back that I was being taken care of. And that is, one small portion of what it takes to actually rear a child. So I just want to stress, and in my conversations, we always get back to, a lot of people come to the door saying, well, the children, the condition of our children right now is not our problem, it's the parents' problem. Well, then that means that we're not acknowledging that crack cocaine took out a large number of our men either in jail or or dead or strung out on drugs. That means we're not acknowledging the homosexual epidemic and the fact that mothers are out here now raising their children with another woman in the household, or men are trying to raise children with another man in the household. There's a lot of different social dynamics that are restricting and limiting the black family and impeding on the progress of mothers and fathers to raise healthy, sound children. And I'm going to quote, who is it? I have a lot of quotes here. I'm going to quote Mother Jawahar Kunchuku in his book, Countering a Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, where he talks about the fact that our women and men are so overworked that it's hindering their parenting skills. So we'll get into that later, but I just wanted to open up with that, just to send the call out to sound the trumpet for brothers and sisters to realize that when we talk about nation building, this has to go far beyond just your immediate home. We have to really extend ourselves to the young people that are in our communities and make sure that we pick up where their parents leave off.
That was very, very beautiful. And I want to personally thank you for being transparent and opening up aspects of your life so that other people can learn via this show. The same token, wow, every time I tell my story, I get people looking at me like, okay, you sound like you had one of these kind of upbringings where you was an exception to the rule. I beg to differ. I am my father's son. I'm my son's father. Before being a father and a grandfather, I was my father's son. I'm the 12th child of 13. I'm the 7th son. And if you do the numbers and if you're into numerology, then you can hit me up and tell me what you think that means, and we can dialogue with that. But I grew up with just my mom after my father passed away at the age of 6. John Edward Griffin, looking like one of the Temptations. But yeah, they say when this little life that you had, Professor Griff, it's like I kind of grew up and I had brothers, I had sisters. I was the cute little kid that everyone looked out for and got all the toys and got the bicycle every August 1st and was looked out for. Growing up, found that something was kind of missing. I started learning about Native American culture, found out that my dad was a Blackfoot Native American, started going to the African American experience, which was run by Black Panthers, started learning about myself, went into the Nation of Islam in the First Resurrection, got more knowledge, and just being in Roosevelt, Long Island, growing up. I went to the cadets and learned the discipline and all that kind of stuff. I just was not a troubled child, never drank, never took a drink in my life, never smoked anything. Thanks to my good brother, one of the S1Ws, Pop Diesel, who taught me martial arts. And from studying Japanese Kintsugi, I learned the discipline and went on to study Wing Chun, Jiu-Jitsu, Aikido, Wushu, and was always disciplined. The sad part of the story that I think a lot of people say, why are you telling us your sexual business? It's like I went all the way through teens and all that kind of stuff, a virgin. So I kept my energy. I didn't really kind of get into anything. I followed what Mom ordered me to do. I was that young man. I hated school with a passion because I knew them bastards were lying every single time I went to class. So because of that, I think that and that damnable religion that my mom forced me to go to church every Sunday, I think I developed this kind of very radical kind of way about me that a lot of people just didn't understand. And coming through high school and just kind of coming up, people would always ask, like, yo, why are you so violent? What are you angry about? I said, I'm not really angry. It's just that I kind of know something. Hell, I wasn't being angry to the people that was asking me that. It was the other damn people. You understand what I'm saying? So, in you know, the way I was viewing it through my little distorted little lens, shit, I had a right to be angry. Oh, excuse my language. I had a right to be angry. You know, as the song says, I have a right to be hostile. My people get persecuted. You understand what I'm saying? So, coming up out of that, joining revolutionary organizations, and then doing the public enemy thing, it's like, okay, so by listening to that brief story about Professor Griff, people would say, okay, well, are you qualified to even have the conversation about telling children or kids or young people not to do drugs and gangs and all this kind of madness? I said, I am. You understand what I'm saying? But the subject tonight is black parenting. Hell, I'm black. Last time I checked.
Yeah, let me just say something to that because, you know, and I've dealt with that. I've seen, let me just say, for me personally, I went through a phase when I was young where I was jealous of a friend who had a mother and a father and a strong upbringing. But my jealousy was inward. I dealt with that within me. I never projected that on anyone else, but I have seen brothers and sisters pick on and even beat up young children because they have the household and the home that they want. And when you come to a certain level of understanding, you can look at it and put it in its proper perspective. But we need to be really, really careful. Just this whole notion of, are you qualified to teach because you came up with a good household? Hell yeah, I'm more qualified than anybody, to be honest, because I have what it takes to heal. I grew up with what it takes to heal those problems and to heal those problems in future generations. So we don't just need broken and abused men and women coming to the table telling their stories about all the pain and hell that they went through. We need the brothers and sisters that came up with that righteous upbringing that can say, this is what it looks like, this is what it feels like, this is what it needs to be like.
That's very beautiful. I'm gonna write that down and take that and make a mental note of that, rather, because I was just not that broken, battered, bruised brother. I just was not. My sisters and my brothers loved me. I was the youngest male. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't understand once I kind of took on this whole militant kind of way about me. They tried to figure it out. Hell, I tried to figure it out. So, but I never knew what it was like to be poor. Although we had 13 people in the family, my mom had 3 jobs. I didn't know it was like, maybe we were poor. I didn't know, because I didn't really know what that was. I've seen some people that were less fortunate, but hell, we had 13 people. I wore hand-me-downs, so I don't mind that. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't caught up into. So I know what it's like to get seconds and thirds. I know what it's like to sleep in the same bed as a brother and sister, 2 and 3 to the bed. 13 of us living in a 4-bedroom house. So I know what that's like. But I'm not saying all this to qualify myself, brothers and sisters. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't have that rough kind of upbringing at all. But I did try to grasp the whole idea why I was so violent. And now that I look at it, putting together the whole S1W's Unity Force, those people that know me personally, that roll with me, know I'm just one of them no-nonsense kind of individuals. And like other young men, Zaza, I thought I'm dying at 2021 because I was ready to bring the pain. In a righteous way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So I was that dude ready to bring it because I understood revolution not to mean complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. It didn't mean that to me back then. Revolution meant Uzis, AKs, bombs, grenades, you understand what I'm saying? Booby traps, everything that, I thought on a surface, immature level, I thought revolution was. So when Dad passed away and I wanted to look up to someone, my brothers was doing their own thing. They wasn't concerned about giving Griff a decent role model to look at. They were doing their own thing. So my sisters will tell you, I had Che Guevara on the wall. I had John Carlos and Tommy Smith, the 2 brothers that was raising their fists during the 1968 Olympics. Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey. I had Mau Mau, and these are the people I look up to, the Zulu. And these are the people, the spirit of the people that stick with me today. So that fashioned and molded and shaped my spirit, my mindset. I'm shocked and surprised I lived through my 20s because I was doing some violent-ish, straight up. I mean, I think about it now and in my grown-up state, I said to myself, okay, I could have handled those situations a lot better. Even in the Public Enemy days, I could have handled those violent situations that we had in a more mature way. But here I am at 53, knowing and understanding and learning from those experiences in my household on Jefferson Avenue in Roosevelt, Long Island, and here we are today, right now, on a Tuesday, here with Zaza Ali,